Rosie. And Rosie Carl.
Please stand for
Please all stand.
The 30th regular session of the 14th Sangguniang Panlungsod is now called to order. Absent-minded si Hill.
Honorable Cecilia Bebelus de Asi, City Vice Mayor and Presiding Officer present. Roll call on the members. Honorable Jesse R. Albius present. Honorable Lucilito S.A. del Rosario present. Honorable Hildy Rosales present. Honorable Melvin Ramon G. Benafe present. Honorable Hilda Gil R. Abunal Gomez present. Honorable Vidal P. Castillo present. Honorable Jose Sirañola present. Honorable Jose B. Perez present. Honorable Salvador M. del Castillo present. Honorable Antonio B. Beltran present. Honorable Maria Corazon M. Peñaflor, Liga President and ex-officio member present. Honorable Mary Kylie Francine B. Tripolca, SKF President and ex-officio member absent. Madam Chair, there is a quorum.
Again, good morning and happy Valentine. Next item.
Prayer.
Yes. Next item.
Pambansang awit.
Again, good morning. Next item.
Privilege time.
Anybody who'd like to avail of the privilege time? Honorable Del Rosario.
Happy Valentine's po sa tuig ka, boss.
Happy Valentine.
Madam Chair, my esteemed colleagues in the 14th Sangguniang, I am submitting today a proposed ordinance revising the Education Code of Naga City. Number 2, Madam Chair, kabali o daikabali? Ini po ang saro sa mga hapot tungkol sa kung sa irisay ang entitled na makareceive kang inaapod na Health Emergency Allowance o HEA. Ano po ang HEA? Iyo po niya ang Republic Act 11712 o an act granting mandatory continuing benefits and allowances to public and private healthcare workers during the COVID-19 pandemic and other future public health emergencies. Ipinasar kang Kongreso asin pig-aprubahan ni Presidente Duterte kang Abril 27, 2022. Tulo po ang kategorya kan exposure sa HEA. Low risk exposure, itong health workers performing administrative duties in non-public health areas of health facilities. Medium risk exposure, itong health workers within the health facility that are providing direct physical care to the general public who are not known or suspected COVID-19 patients. As in ang high risk exposure, itong directly providing health assistance sa COVID-19 patients. Ang Republic Act na ini shall apply to all healthcare and non-healthcare workers regardless of status of employment during the time of pandemic and other future pandemic until lifted by the President. Sa ngunyan, dahil pa man ini lifted kang Presidente. May kategorya man, Madam Chair, ang ma-receiving allowance kan mga healthcare as in non-healthcare workers. Monthly po ang computation kang HEA as in retroactive ini poon July 2021. Ang pinakahababa, 3,000 pesos. Ang pinakahalangkaw, 9,000 pesos. Igwa pong grievance mechanisms na pigbilog ang batas, asin yan kumpesto kang sarong representante kang Department of Health, sarong representante kang Department of Labor, asin sarong representante kang Medical Health Professional Organization. Igdi po sa Bicol, ang grievance committee nakabase sa DOH Legazpi City. Igdi po sa Naga, napag-aramanta po na dai sarama o pulido ang mga dokumentos na ipinadarakan sa tuyang seso duman sa DOH Legazpi. Sa kuya pong pigtsagaan, Madam Chair, ang listahan kang gabus na pangaran na pigpadara kan seso sa Legazpi City. As in sa tuya po ining pig-summarize. Ilingon ta po ang mga barangay na mga pig-submit na mga listahan. Sa Abella, sa Cararayan, Bagong Bayan Norte, Concepcion Grande. For example, sa Bagong Bayan Norte, ang pig-submit lang pong listahan, 2 barangay health worker, 5 barangay health worker, sarong kagawad health on nutrition, sarong chief tanod, sarong CBRS, sarong driver, sarong midwife. Duman po sa Concepcion Grande, yuman po lang ni ang mga listahan na pigpadara. Sa Balatas, Siringman. Man iba-iba po. Bot sabihin, dai na i-cascade, na tultol ang impormasyon tungkol sa bagay na ini. Ang makatritresti, Madam Chair, pigurulayan po ni Dr. Sani Ranyola, ang Chair kang Committee on Health, as ni Councilor Capason Piñaplor, ang Presenting Liga, and ni former Liga President Dodit Beltran. Nag-submit po ang seso ng lista as in disapprove an para sa mga barangay staff as in an para sa mga barangay tanod. Ipahiling ko po sa Indo ang disapproval kan DOH Legazpi. Ilingon ta po ang item number 1. Sinasabi po dyan, barangay tanod and barangay staffs are not eligible for HEA because they are not healthcare workers. Medyo ano lang po kaya ang letters. Alagad ang very revealing is yung number 2. A certification is required so they can be added. So they can be added in the list. Pig-submit po ni kan July of 2022 and hanggang ngunyan mayong follow-up na ginibo ang sa tuyang seso hindi sa Naga City. But sabihon, kung dahil po ninapansin kang Sangguniang Panlungsod, sayang kan si mga kapagalan, kung dahil po nipigbukasan sa Sangguniang Panlungsod, pwedeng mabaliwala si mga kapagalan kan mga tanod, CBRS, mga social welfare volunteers, as in iba pang mga volunteers kan PSO, CDRMO, lalo na po itong mga nagparakolekta ng basura ng mga tao kang SWMO. Even po si mga referees, mga coaches na nagtarabang mag-distribute ng kakanon sa mga isolation facilities. May mga meetings pong gigibuhon, hopefully po maayos, tangari po maka-avail kita. Kan subanggi po, nahiling ko sa website, kang DOH, may pig-release na dakulang amount para sa Philippine General Hospital as in sa National Kidney and Transplant Institute, sa City of Imus, as in sa iba pang LGU sigdi sa Bicol. Medyo nauri lang po talaga ang Naga sa mga araw kaning mga bagay. Dakol po ang nagsakripisyo, Madam Chair. Dakol ang nagpagal. Kay puan pasalamatan, as in taanan kan maninigong kompensasyon. Tayo po ni ang sinasabi kang batas. Kaya mabalik po kita sa inot na hapot. Kabali o dai kabali?
Thank you, Honorable Lito Del Rosario. Anybody else would like to avail of the privileged time? None? Next item.
Reading and approval of the order of business.
Honorable Del Castillo.
Madam Chair, I move to dispense with the reading of the order of business and move for the inclusion of the following items. Under unfinished business, the report of the Committee on Housing and Settlement, the report of the Committee on Health and Nutrition. Still under unfinished business, Madam Chair, the revised copy of the proposed ordinance exempting all senior citizens and persons with disability from payment of initial rate for parking fee in the City of Naga. Together with an ordinance requiring the food service industry within the City of Naga to include 1/2 cup of cooked rice in their menu, and an ordinance establishing and institutionalizing the Abot-Kayang Justice Program in the city. Still under unfinished business, the letter coming from the City Director of the Philippine National Police submitting their comment on the proposed ordinance authored by the Honorable Gail Abunal Gomez. Still under unfinished business, Madam Chair, the certification coming from the City Treasurer and the City Budget Officer with regards to the proposed acquisition of property for socialized housing program of the city. Still under unfinished business, the report of the Tri-Mobile Task Force with regards to those franchises with expired as of 2018 and earlier. Under new business, the email coming from FRC BBC 2022 team information. Still under new business, an appeal letter addressed to the Honorable Buenafe with regards to the renewal of franchise for Tri-Mobile. Still under new business, copy of a memorandum coming from the DILG with regard to the enactment of an ordinance operationalizing Republic Act number 10173 or the Data Privacy Act in local government units. Still under new business, the letter coming from the Office of the City Mayor endorsing the proposed MOA by and between the City Government of Naga and the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. Still under new business, Madam Chair, the proposed MOA between the Angat Pinas Incorporated, UP Alumni Association Camarines Sur Chapter, the Department of Education, Naga City Division, and the City of Government of Naga on the implementation of Teacher Ko, Abayan Ko Teacher Ko. And last, Madam Chair, the subject matter of the privileged speech of the Honorable Del Rosario, the proposed ordinance revising the Education Code of Naga City. With the inclusion, Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the order of business.
Honorable Del Rosario, before the approval, any comment or?
Before the approval, Madam Chair, I would like to request with the approval of the Chair of the Committee on Rules that we discuss today the MOA under unfinished business, the MOA of the City Government of Naga and the PAGCOR relative to the construction of the Balatas Event Center, Madam Chair.
Ano yan?
Actually, Madam Chair, I will also inquire whether we have already ratified that MOA or not. The mayor called a while ago inquiring on the matter. So if the matter, if that matter is not yet ratified, then I move that we include that under unfinished business. Thank you. So with the inclusion, Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the order of business.
Okay. The agenda for today with the following inclusions is approved. Next item.
Order of business, reading and approval of the minutes of the previous sessions.
Madam Chair, I move to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the 19th regular session held on November 15, the 20th regular session held on November 22, the 21st regular session held on December 6, the minutes of the first special session held on December 16, and the minutes of the second special session held on December 29, 2022, and move for its approval.
In a second, the following minutes of the regular session is now approved, and special session is now approved. Next.
Special business or order, the letter dated February 7, 2023 from Ms. Annabel Vargas, CSWDO head, requesting for the passage of a resolution authorizing the Honorable City Mayor to enter into a MOA with the DSWD Feed Office Number 5 for the implementation of the supplementary feeding program in daycare centers in the city.
Honorable Del Castillo.
Madam Chair, this matter is a continuing program of the
DSWD.
DSWD in partnership with the City of Naga. Yearly, we are implementing this program, and it benefits our children at our education center. So with that, Madam Chair, I move on joint and collective motion. I move that we pass a resolution authorizing the City Mayor to enter into a MOA with the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Regional Field Office Number 5, for the implementation of the supplementary feeding program in the City of Naga.
On joint and collective motion.
Joint and
and
collective
collective motion. Approved. Next item.
The endorsement from the Honorable City Mayor forwarding for ratification the Memorandum of Agreement entered into between the City and the Department of Education, Naga Schools Division, Ateneo de Naga University, Senior High School, University of Nueva Cáceres, Universidad de Santa Isabel de Naga, PNP, NCPO, BFP Naga, Liga ng mga Barangay, Federation of Sangguniang Kabataan, the City Hall Press Corps relative to the undertaking of disaster preparedness training, requesting for confirmation of authority and ratification of
Councilor Del Rosario.
Tin, paki-scroll kung sa pinakababa kung duly notarized ang document. Okay. So having complied, Madam Chair, with the requirements set forth by our existing ordinance, may I move on the collective motion that we confirm the authority and ratify the MOA entered into by the city government, represented by Mayor Ligason and the other stakeholders. I so move, Madam Chair.
On joint and collective motion. Approved. Next item.
the letter dated February 8, 2023 of the Honorable City Mayor forwarding the Memorandum of Agreement entered into between the city and the Embassy of the People's Republic of China relative to the latter's donation of 2.5 to 600 million.
Basketball court at La Presa.
Ano yan?
Yaw na si Korta. Pig ano na. Naka-download na sa ang Korta kayo ni. Honorable Del Castillo.
Madam Chair, though China is encroaching our Philippine territory at the Philippine Sea, but with this donation, by the way, it's a national issue, Madam Chair, and we are only dealing with local issues. So with that, Madam Chair, I move that we authorize the Mayor to enter into an agreement with the Chinese Embassy in the Philippines with regard to the donation of sums of money
2 million.
for the construction of a sports facility at Liberty Village, the place located at Carraya, Naga City.
Any second?
Joint and collective motion.
Oh,
Madam
joint
Chair.
and collective motion. Approved. Next item.
This will include confirmation of the authority, Your Honors. Because having no
Confirmation,
And
of the authority,
certificate.
meaning
and that-
the MOA is already signed by the party. So, Madam Chair, I will amend my motion. My motion should be confirming and ratifying the memorandum of agreement entered into between the City Government of Naga and the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in the Philippines.
So in joint and collective motion.
unfinished business, the letter dated February 1, 2023, inviting in today's session the City Budget Officer, Mr. Frank Mendoza,
Is
with
the
regard to
city
the
budget
sub-fund for the
officer
proposed
around?
acquisition of Macandog Marcelo and Domiciano France
Mayo.
property in Barangay
So we deferred this, temporarily deferred.
May authority.
Mr. Mendoza is not yet around. Next item.
The report of the Committee on Land Use.
Committee on Land Use, Honorable Del Castillo, Chair of the Committee on Land Use.
Chair, I move for the acknowledgement of the report of the Committee on Land Use.
Report is acknowledged.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the report of the for the committee hearing held on February 8, 2022. We have a quorum during the committee hearing, and item number 1 is letter dated January 27 of Mr. Wilfredo Prilles Jr., City Planning and Development Coordinator, endorsing a copy of the letter received by Mr. Magadia relative to the proposed conduct of the survey within Mirabel Homes subdivision. And together with that, Madam Chair, is the letter dated January 12, 2023, from the City Planning and Development Office in compliance with the directive of the Sangguniang Panlungsod, submitting a progress report regarding the proposed survey to re-evaluate the total number of lot owners conforming to the proposed alteration of plans submitted by Mirabel Subdivision. We have a lengthy discussion on this, Madam Chair, because when the personnel from the City Planning and Development Office proceeded to the area, they were prevented from entering the subdivision by the guard, apparently based on the instruction of the homeowner association. So may I proceed directly to this position, Madam
You
Chair?
may proceed.
On motion of Honorable Jose Rañola, seconded by Mr. Joselito Barbolino, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to direct the City Planning and Development Office to conduct a house-to-house survey on Sunday. Actually, they have to report, Madam Chair, because the committee directed the City Planning to conduct it last Sunday, February 12, 2022, and to report the result of the survey. Furthermore, the committee denied the request of Mr. Nagil Piña for the conduct of public consultation, instead to push through with the survey in view of the absence of duly recognized homeowners association as per certification of Department of Human Settlement and Urban Development. So meantime, Madam Chair, the committee deferred consideration of the matter. But we will be awaiting of the report from the City Planning and Development Office. So I move to defer the matter, Madam Chair.
So this matter is deferred.
Item number 2 is letter dated January 16, 2023 from the City Planning and Development Office relative to the request of Mr. Nilson D., landowner, requesting for rezoning a parcel of land located at Barangay Concepcion Grande into commercial use as site of the proposed two-story mixed-use building. Disposition on motion duly seconded, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to conduct a public hearing on February 22, 2023 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the Sangguniang Panlungsod Session Hall, City of Naga. The Secretariat is hereby directed to cause the dissemination of the information to all the adjoining property owners. So, Madam Chair, upon submission by the City Planning and Development Office and the City Assessor's Office of the list of the adjoining property owners, may I request that we direct the Sangguniang Secretariat to cause the issuance of a notice of public hearing to be held on February 22 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So move, Madam Chair.
Any second? I approve.
Item number 3 is letter dated January 30, 2023 of Mr. Wilfredo Prilis Jr., City Planning and Development Coordinator, submitting the revised technical evaluation, incorporating the revised and additional documents submitted by Mr. Jose Blas Hinson Jr., Regional Administrative Officer of Jamaica Realty and Development in Marketing Corporation, relative to their application for development permit of the Caceres Heights Resort subdivision at Barangay Pacul, Naga City. Disposition on motion of Mr. Joselito Barbulino, seconded by Honorable Hill Rosales and Honorable Jose Ranyola. The committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to pass a resolution approving the application of Mr. Jose Blas Hinson Jr., Regional Administrative Officer of Jamaica Realty and Marketing Corporation, relative to their application for development permit of the Caceres Heights Resort Subdivision project at Barangay Pacul, Naga City. All the documents and the required submission are complete, Madam Chair. So I move that we pass a resolution approving the application for development permit of Jamaica Realty and Marketing Corporation.
Any second? Okay, approve.
Item number 4, Madam Chair, is the letter dated January 30, 2023 of Mr. Wilfredo Prilis Jr., City Planning and Development Coordinator, submitting their observation based on the site inspection conducted last January 12, 2023, and the technical evaluation relative to the request of architect Bernardo S. Alves, authorized representative of Mr. E.D. Crisini, for the rezoning of a parcel of land located at Barangay Concepcion Grande, the city, to commercial use. This is Pequeña, Madam Chair. This application is rezoning from from industrial to commercial use. So may I proceed to the disposition, Madam Chair?
You may proceed.
On motion of Honorable Jose Ranyola, seconded by Honorable Hill Rosales and Mr. Joselito Barbulino, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to conduct a public hearing on February 22, 2023 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the Sangguniang Panlungsod Session Hall. Same invitation, Madam Chair, as the committee recommended on the other item to be subjected to a public hearing on February 22, 2023 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the Sangguniang Panlungsod Session Hall. So I move, Madam Chair.
So two disposition, one is the conduct of the public hearing.
And
And the second
for
is-
the city assessor to
City
submit
assessor.
the list of adjoining property owners for purposes of issuance of the notice of public hearing.
Okay. On motion duly seconded, approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That ends my report.
Thank you, Honorable Del Castillo. Next.
Before the next item, Your Honors, Mr. Frank Mendoza is already around
So we
with
go
regards
back
to the
item
source of fund for the
number-
proposed Macandog, Marcelo, and Domiciano France property.
Go back to item number 1 of the unfinished business. The rules are suspended. Mr. Frank Mendoza, you are requested. With regards to the source of fund.
Good morning, Madam Chair and the honorable members. With regards to the just compensation for that property owned by Edith Macandog Marcelo in Barangay Libuton, I would like to inform this body that at the moment we cannot certify yet as to availability of funds, as that would be sourced from the surplus. The surplus declaration would be forthcoming later this month or probably early in March.
So there is no available source of funds as of the present. Honorable Del Castillo.
So, there is no fund yet for the purpose. So with that, Madam Chair, I move that we defer action on the request for the acquisition of that property at Libuton for lack of fund, in the absence of funds
source of funds.
for the purpose.
Any
We'll just
second?
wait for the certification whether there is available funds so that we can proceed with the negotiation for the acquisition of the property, Madam Chair.
So any seconded. So this matter is deferred. Thank you, Mr. Mendoza.
By the way, Madam Chair, I seek reconsideration of our calendar of business with regards to the donation from the People's Republic of China. Can we pass a resolution expressing our thanks for the donation to the city from the Chinese Embassy? I think it's just fitting that we express our thanks for that donation from the Chinese Embassy.
So that will be under SBO
Yes, and together with the
with the approval of the
yes, the approval of the
MOA.
MOA entered into between the city and the Chinese Embassy of the People's Republic of China.
Any second to the motion? Okay, approved.
So with that, Madam Chair, I move that on joint and collective motion, I move that we pass a resolution expressing our thanks and gratitude for the donation of the Chinese Embassy to the City Government of Naga.
So
On
in
joint
joint and
and collective.
collective motion, approved.
Thank you,
Next,
Madam Chair.
rules are now resumed. Honorable Rosales.
Madam Chair, may I request that we reconsider the order of business to take up first item number 9 of unfinished business. This concerns Mr. Frank Mendoza. Baka kayo maghali ng Madam Chair. So I'd like to take advantage of his presence right now. So if it's okay with the
Chair of the Committee on Rules, are you agreeable that we take up first item number 9,
Item
considering that Mr. Mendoza, our budget officer, is still around?
Anyway, Madam Chair, it's included in the calendar of business, so we can prioritize that item to avail of the presence of the budget officer.
So we take up first item number 9. The Secretary.
Madam Chair, last session, Mr. Mendoza submitted a comment on the matter of the resolution passed by the local health board requesting the Sangguniang Tupasan Ordinance categorizing our healthcare workers from A2 to A1. Ang comment po ni Mr. Mendoza, the local government unit or the city government is allowed to compensate our health workers on A2 category, which is lower than the national government, which is lower than the healthcare workers, with the salary of the healthcare workers of the national government. Digdi po, Madam Chair, sa comment kang sa tuyang HRM officer, pwedeng iskan. Ang nakalaag po, the salary of public healthcare workers as appropriated by the city shall not be less than those provided by
The national government.
less than those provided for healthcare workers of the national government. That is based on RA 7305, Magna Carta of
The
Public
Magna
Health
Carta of Public
Workers.
Health.
Kaya lang sabi Madam Chair, ni Sir Frank naman sa inot niyang comment last week, pwede po kitang mag-compensate ning lower, which is the category for second income class city. So may I request siguro a comment from our budget officer as to this comment from HR office.
Okay, Mr. Mendoza.
Ang mga public health workers are allowed to receive the A1 salary schedule. Ang A1 salary schedule, iyan po ang sweldo kang first class cities, special cities, and other first class LGUs. Province pa lang. Pero duman sa nagluwas na local budget circular on the preparation of the annual budgets of local government units, may provision duman that a local government unit can grant. Kung di kaya ang A1, pwede sila magtaon ng salary schedule sa mga public health workers as a percentage of the A1 schedule. So ito pong schedule na yaon dyan si salary grade 1 up to 30. Nakalagdaman si mga sweldo for each step. Now, the Department of Budget and Management, in that circular or memorandum, sinabi duman na ang Sangguniang Panlungsod can authorize to grant a percentage of the A1 schedule. Now, ang pig-adapta po, si A2, which is 5% lower than the A1. And A2, incidentally, is also the rate being received by all employees of the city government. So, pinarehas na lang si sweldo kang public health workers. Nagirumduman ko po, kan time pa ni Mayor Robredo, iyo man si demand, pero si desisyon kadto, iparehas na lang. Pero, of course, the Sangguniang Panlungsod would have the authority to say kung A1 or A2.
Honorable Rosales.
Ang nakalag po kay Madam Chair DPO sa provision under the law shall not be less than those provided for public health workers of the national government, which is A1.
A1.
A1. So, in conclusion, in my view, Madam Chair, we are not compliant with the said provision of the law. Kasi ang tigtataw talang A2, iya po yan ang tigpapanindugan kang sa tuyang local health board through their resolution that the city government is not compliant with the specific provision under the Magna Carta for Public Health Workers. So, sige po.
I beg to disagree with the statement that we are not compliant. We are compliant. I would assume that the issuance of the Department of Budget and Management, which is issued to all LGUs in the Philippines, was based on law. So, ang kaipuan lang po, dapat magsabi sa sanggunian that we are adopting the A2 schedule for public health workers. And incidentally, that is included in the annual budget under general provisions.
Sige po, Madam Chair, may we request the DPM issuance pertaining to the statement of Mr. Frank Mendoza that the LGU is allowed to provide lower than that provided for public health workers of the national government.
I will submit, Madam Chair. Kunin ko lang po sa ibaba.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mendoza. Thank you, Honorable Rosales. Honorable Del Castillo.
Local government unit, particularly on the implementation of the salary of the salary standardization law. A salary schedule is being issued by the Department of Budget and Management based on the classification of local government units. Local government units are classified as, for cities, we have the highly urbanized cities, which is equivalent to a first-class city, aside from Baguio, which is a special city, and considered as first class. There are cities in local government units which are classified as second class. There are third class, fourth, and fifth, up to sixth class. And that applies to provinces, cities, municipalities in the entire country. If we will be adopting this, it will distort the pay scale of all employees in the city. It will appear that the salary rate of a health worker is higher than the other positions of comparable salary grade. So that will distort, Madam Chair, I believe, the salary scale. Second major issue, where shall we get the fund for this? It will entail millions of pesos, Madam Chair. So we should weigh that situation. If we are compliant with existing laws, then so be it.
Thank you, Honorable Del Castillo. So, basing on the recommendation of the Honorable Rosales, the City Budget Officer is tasked to submit the opinion of the DBM, and also we take into consideration the comments of the Honorable Salvador Del Castillo. So, next item. Thank you, Mr.
The
Mendoza.
report of the Committee on Market Affairs.
Committee on Market, Honorable Vidal Castillo, Chair of the Committee on Market.
May I request acknowledgement of my committee report?
Your report is acknowledged.
The Committee on Market Affairs, Madam Chair, conducted a committee hearing last February 9, and there was a quorum. And only one item taken up in the committee hearing. And this is particular to the letter dated January 27, 23 of Ms. Josephine A. Maglipon, event organizer, requesting for authority to utilize Abilia Street, Naga City People's Mall for their advocacy event from January 1 to 28, 2023. Upon the lengthy discussion of this item, Madam Chair, all invited guests and even the member of the Market Affairs Committee manifested their objection because this request will cause problem, traffic congestion to that area. So may I go directly to the disposition, Madam Chair?
You may proceed.
On motion of your Restorative Madam Chair, Vidal Castillo, Jolo seconded, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to deny the request due to some reason manifested in the discussion. However, the committee is willing to assist and to look for another places for their advocacy. So I move, Madam Chair.
Any second?
That's end my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Castillo. Next item.
The letter from Engineer Rolly Campillos of HSDO furnishing copy of the narrative report of the meeting attended by his office representative, the President of San Miguelville Homeowners Association, and Father Domingo Florida of the Archdiocese of Cáceres, pertaining to the desire of the Homeowners Association to acquire the property they are occupying.
Honorable Rosales.
Madam Chair, this is pending with the Committee on Housing. Kaya lang, Madam Chair, may also refer a matter here to the Committee on Infrastructure. Diyan po kaya sa letter sa tuyang HSDO, can we show it? May may matter na tidraise si Father Aba on the last part of the letter on the assistance that is being requested to secure the safety of the residents by the construction of a riprap along the riverside. Yan po kayong area po niyan, Madam Chair, is already in San Felipe area. Ang portion kang Naga River, which bounds Balatas and San Felipe, partially covered kang revetment project. Ang nasisimento pala po, Madam Chair, is Balatas area, which poses danger to properties along San Felipe area kasi naglangkaw po si water level. So, may we refer the matter to the Committee on Infrastructure as well.
So refer to the committee, it's pending on the Committee on Housing, and now it's also referred to the Committee on Infrastructure on the last comment raised by Father Aba. Next.
Another letter from Engineer Campillos, submitting the copy of the list of prospective beneficiaries of the proposed Fernandez Compound
Is
Socialized
it pending
Housing
with the
Project
committee?
in Santa
Committee
Cruz.
on Housing, Committee on Housing.
The letter dated February 7, 2023 of the City Legal Officer containing his legal opinion on the proposed ordinance prohibiting gender-based sexual harassment
It's
in
on
streets
Committee
and
on
public.
Laws and Ordinances.
The
Pending.
letter dated February 6 of Chief Inspector Peter Paul Mendoza, City Fire Marshal, containing the inspection report of the supposed fire exit constructed on Road Lot 7 of Mitra Subdivision Project in Barangay Peña
I
Francia.
think this was reported Committee on Housing.
The letter dated January 6 of Ms. Maria Luisa Biquelio, Carb Ibalita, Review Center Regional Manager, asking
Referred to
permission
the
to allow
Sangguniang Panlungsod. Secretariat.
Anong ito? Based on the list, Your Honors, top 8, Oliver Jan Tres Reyes is from Cararayan. Top 9, Benet Nicole Gregorio from Barangay Balatas. And top 9, Jasmine Samantha Tusara from Barangay del Rosario. They are let passers.
Let passer, top 8, 9 are from Naga City. So, any motion from the members? Conjoint and collective motion? Conjoint and collective motion, resolution commending the top 8 and 9 during the let examination. Separate resolution. Next item.
The letter dated February 6, 2023 of Attorney Paul John F. Barosa, acting SO head, requesting for the passage of an ordinance authorizing the payment of incentives of the city scholars amounting to 879,000 to be charged against the current appropriation of the SO.
We recognize the presence of Attorney J.P. Barosa. So, the disposition of the body, any comment? It will be charged under current appropriation of the same office. Sa ibang Committee on Education. Education. Okay, Honorable Rosales.
May we ask Madam Chair, Attorney Barosa, if we will charge the incentives sa current appropriation to for scholarship grant, di man daw magkulang, Madam Chair, ang pangbayad sa scholarships kang sa to yung mga city
Si
scholars.
Present Scholar. May we request Attorney Barosa? Rules are suspended. Di man daw mainaan si budget for this year.
Good morning, Your Honors. Actually, since the first day I was appointed as the acting head of ESO, the first problem that I encountered are the late payments on scholarship grants to our scholars. Ateneo was paid in 2022, but the other schools like NCF, Mariners, UNC, and USI and others were paid just this year using the 2023 budget. Indeed, Your Honors, there will be some. I am really worried also as to the availability of budget for funding the scholarship grants for this year. At any rate, Your Honor, we are already working on it to be able to establish a balanced budget comes this year. I am looking at other items which can perhaps replenish or did what the previous head did last year. They asked for additional budget from the Sangguniang, but indeed there are issues right now, and I am resolving them, including the balancing of the budget of ESO. But at any rate, Your Honor, these incentives are statutory obligations of the city already, given that it's under the education code. And I believe these scholars are very much worth the incentives, given that they attained the grades of 1.25 and 1.5, so or better. And thus, despite the possibility of facing with some, I know that there are really still issues that have to be resolved, but we really need to face these problems and resolve them, and then provide these incentives to our deserving scholars, Your Honors. But rest assured, Your Honor, I am already working on a system that will resolve these problems.
Okay, Honorable Del Rosario.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Attorney PJ, we're talking of what particular semester or year?
We are talking about the first SEM, Your Honors, which already ended last December 2022. When I confronted, Your Honor, the personnel from ESO, what I asked is, why just now? Of course, that's the question. They said, apologies. So I also apologize, Your Honors, but rest assured that under my supervision and given your trust, I will ensure that this will no longer happen.
So we hope, Attorney Barosa, that for next semester, we'll be submitting the request on time, or if funds will be available, we charge it to the existing fund. Okay. I have no further questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Del Rosario. Thank you, Honorable Del Castillo.
Are the grades being submitted directly by the schools or by the scholar themselves?
They are being submitted by the scholars, but with the attestations from the school.
No, I think we should reverse the process. Immediately after the end of the semester, a list from the schools where they are enrolled should be the basis, because there might be an instance that the student may request for the adjustment of their grades just to avail of this benefit. It will not serve the purpose, Madam Chair. So I think immediately after the end of each semester, we should not depend upon these scholars, but we should write or communicate with the school directly so that there will be no intervention of these particular scholars on the grant of this incentive. Baka may mga manipulasi na mangyari. Si estudyante, magpapa-adjust kan sa iyang grade just to avail of this. So it will not serve the purpose. So mas maray siguro, Madam Chair, direct link from the city in the school. Tangarig dahil ng mayo na ning ano man ako yan. And immediately after the end of the semester.
Okay. So can we
To avoid itong mga pwedeng mangyari, Madam Chair.
can we do that, Attorney Barosa?
I agree, Your Honor. Actually, Ma'am Chair and Councilor Del Castillo, we are already, I have already instructed them to be more proactive, have linkages with the schools, as you have mentioned po. Because right now, they are merely waiting for the students to come and, just submit. I said, we should go to the schools. We should go to the schools and talk to the administrators.
Yes.
Thank you po. Thank you.
Yes, Madam Chair, siguro direct ma-communicate kita sa
Mga schools.
eskwelahan, nakabugtak si mga ngaran kan
Mga
scholars,
scholars.
then whatever is the reply of the school, yun ang babasihan ta. Para fair sa kabus. And, fair.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam
Thank
Chair.
you, Honorable Del Castillo. Honorable Del Rosario.
So, Madam Chair, kung naman hapot, igdi, may I move that we pass an ordinance authorizing the payment of the incentives of our city scholars in the amount stated in the request, charged to be charged to the current appropriation under the item scholarship government from the general fund of the ESO.
Any second to the motion? Okay, approved.
Thank you very much po.
Madam Chair, another request. Attorney PJ, we're talking here of incentives. So, na-dispose na. How about yung mga payments duman sa mga scholars, yung mga scholarship mismo kan mga aki na. Yung mga tuition fees nila. For yung last year and last semester. Kumusta tabi? Ikaw pa kitang concern duman or may na kitang concern?
Sige po. May natatada na lang po na coming from Ateneo de Naga University and I think UNC, which the problem there lies on the students. That's why I really appreciate the comments of Attorney Badi, because apparently it seems that these students who were not yet paid with their scholarship grants did not submit on time and renewed on time their scholarship. Did not submit on time their grades and renewed on time their scholarship. And I really believe that we have to talk to the administrators, because what these students are saying are that it's the fault of the teachers. That the teachers did not submit on time the grades due to some reasons. But I believe these are contractual obligations on the part of the teachers, and perhaps there are also times that it's the fault of the student for not submitting on time the requirements. So if we will be talking directly to the schools, we will be able to resolve this. And I'm already working on those things, honorable legislators, and rest assured that in the coming days there will be a better system for this matter.
Thank you, Attorney Barosa. Any other comments? Honorable Gail Abonal Gomez.
Madam Chair, may I just suggest or mention that in the process of doing so, I just hope that we also do not cross the boundaries, in terms of policies of the school, because every school would also have their own submission of grades. May deadline man po ang mga maestra. So kung dai makaka-comply sa hinahagad ta, pero sa-sacrifice ninda ang policies man kang school, baka man nagko-cross border na po kita. So, Attorney PJ, that is just my suggestion.
Thank you, Attorney Gomez.
Yes po, Councilor
Barroso.
Gill. That's why, Madam Chair, we will be setting meetings with the administrators in order for us to have a win-win solution on how we can move forward. I believe they will be very cooperative, especially that we are talking about scholars here. I always say that scholars are the best of the best, and they are also the future of our city. So I do believe we will be able to come up with a win-win system for this without crossing the boundaries of the school policies, and without also compromising the timeliness of processing our payments to the schools.
Thank you, Attorney Barrosa. So, on motion duly seconded, this is approved.
Thank you very much po.
Next item,
The report of the Committee on Housing and Settlement.
Committee on Housing, Sisema report. Okay, deferred.
The report of the Committee on Health and Nutrition.
Honorable Ranyola, Chair of the Committee on Health. Ano yan? may sounds. Background. Background niya, gano'n yan. Background. Oh, may background music ka sa report.
Request for the acknowledgement of this report,
Your
Madam
report
Chair.
is acknowledged.
This was conducted last February 10. No quorum, Madam Chair. So, may I move to convert this Sangguniang Panlungsod to a committee of the whole. The first business of the day is the letter dated January 30, 2023 of Mr. Francisco Mendoza, Acting Head, City Agriculture Office, addressed to the City Mayor pertaining to the complaint against poultry in Barangay Carolina, this city, and the recommendations relative thereto with the note of the City Mayor. May I proceed directly to the
You may proceed.
disposition, Madam Chair. On motion of Honorable Jesse Albios, duly seconded, the committee resolved to recommend to Sangguniang Panlungsod for the conduct of a public hearing on the amendment of City Ordinance Number 2017-073, inviting all poultry and livestock farm operators in the City of Naga. So move, Madam Chair.
Any second, when will
That
the
ends up
public
my
hearing be? May pa pong
Report
scheduled
and
public
happy
hearing.
Valentine's to all of you. Thank you.
Public hearing po, no rin. Mayo pa. It will be announced later. Next item, thank you, Dr. Honorable Ranyola.
The proposed ordinance of Honorable Jesse R. Albios exempting all senior citizens and persons with disability.
Deferred, deferred is still with the committee. Okay, next item.
Another ordinance of Honorable Albios requiring the food service industry within the jurisdiction of
Is
the
it with
city.
the committee? Committee, Honorable
Si
Rosales?
inut pong ordinance sa Madam Chair, tas yan, under LO po.
Under LO, sa Committee on LO, sinordin. Next item.
Another proposed ordinance from Honorable Albios establishing and institutionalizing the Abot
It's still,
Kayang Papustiso
It's still with
program.
the Committee on Laws and Ordinances. Ano abot kaya?
Ano na yung PNP? Ano yun?
Next item.
The letter dated
I will
February,
recognize the presence of the Honorable Trifulca.
February 8, 2023 from Police Colonel Nelson A. Pacalso
It's
on the
pending with
proposed
the
ordinance
Committee
of
on
Honorable
Laws and Ordinances. Committee on Laws and Ordinances.
The letter
Next.
dated February 14, 2023, Mr. Frank Mendoza, in compliance to the request of the Sangguniang for a certification as to availability of fund.
It's still with the
Housing.
Committee on Housing. Pending. Okay, Committee on Housing.
The report from the Trimobile Task Force as to expired Trimobile franchises.
Honorable Benafe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is regarding the request of the Committee on Transport from the Trimobile Task Force to submit to us a copy of those expired franchises since 2016 and earlier for cancellation already. We required the Trimobile Task Force to send notices to the concerned operators and owners, and so far there were 22 received and 54 which were not delivered due to non-location of the address, and there were 7 that surrendered their franchises. We have counted 66 that are expired already since the year 2016 and are due for cancellation. And with this, Madam Chair, we gave them ultimatum until December 31 last year, but there were some letters that we received recently requesting for consideration in the renewal of their franchises. Hence, Madam Chair, I would like to move for the Sangguniang Panlungsod to issue notice to the Public Safety Office and with attached list informing them that the listed unrenewed Trimobile franchises are no longer authorized to operate as public utility vehicle. Likewise, we would like to ask the Sangguniang Panlungsod, and I move, Madam Chair, that we also send a copy to the CEPPIO for public information and dissemination. And I move that those whose franchises have expired already since the year 2018 be given a grace period of 1 month, that is March 15, that if it is not yet renewed, their franchises will be cancelled. And I so move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Okay. Before the approval, Honorable De Rosario, comment?
Pwede pong saro-saroon si motion ni Councilor Benape for our
Okay, first
disposition.
is
The first
to
motion.
Yes,
request the PNP
thank
for
you,
the
Honorable
apprehension.
Rosario.
Second is to furnish CEPPIO the copy of the list. And third is to give 1 month
Grace
grace
period.
period. The 3 resolutions.
Until March 15 for their franchises to be
So you're moving for
cancelled.
the approval of the 3 resolutions?
Yes, Madam Chair.
So second to the 3 resolutions. Okay, Honorable Del Castillo.
Directive to the
CEPPIO.
Public Safety Office and the CEPPIO. The third is a resolution
Yes.
giving those franchisee only up to March 15 to renew.
So the Secretary is instructed
I
to
second
write
those
CEPPIO.
motions, Madam.
So the Secretary is instructed to write the PSO and the CEPPIO. Next item.
The MOA between the city and the PAGCOR.
Design sa PAGCOR. Honorable Del Castillo. Mayo pa mang baga.
We directed that an investigation on the matter be conducted by the City Legal Office. But I also move that parallel to that, we ratify the MOA between the city and PAGCOR. Just to settle all the issue, because there might be some funds which still to be released to us from PAGCOR. So we really need, although bara-bara lang guke si record ka ni Madam Chair, dahil piga amin, dahil pangani nararatify si di ba nararatify, may amendment na. So, kaya bara-bara lang ko si record.
So, iraratify si Inot o ini ng Mahore?
Ini na garang bago, Madam Chair.
So, ito ng bago. Confirming and ratifying. Ano yan? Ratifying?
Yes, we have previous authority for this, Madam Chair. So, we only need to pass a resolution ratifying the MOA.
Based on the amendment that was submitted lately.
Ini yung, Madam Chair, last...
Oh, kaya nga ni.
Ini.
Because itong signatory, because of the signatory.
Signed by Attorney Lim in the city mayor. Sa itong ko yan, Madam Chair, itong amendment, siguro another action ito dahil kaya po maratify tango na nito, mayo man niya amin, kundi ito ratify.
Sa authority.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Del Castillo. Honorable Del Rosario. So that's a motion to ratifying the MOA with and duly seconded by the Honorable Del Rosario. Any comment?
Yeah, subsequent.
Okay. Approved. And then comment, Honorable Del Rosario.
This is another motion, Madam Chair, that we authorize the city mayor to enter into a MOA, yung amended MOA with the new PAGCOR chief, subject to ratification of the Sangguniang Panlungsod.
So, a second. So, those resolutions, the first is the ratification, and the second is another resolution authorizing the city mayor with the new PAGCOR chief.
May I ask the Secretariat if the amended MOA was the city mayor was already given the authority?
Your Honor, we already passed an authority for the mayor to enter into the proposed amendment, the amended MOA.
Okay, so ang kayo po talang i-ratify ito.
Yes, sir.
So, can we have the document na Tin? Can you show us yung substantial compliance ng second document?
Bago na, si bago.
I think ano pa to eh.
2021 pa yan.
Yeah, si Inot yan.
Amended topic.
Itong amendment.
Tapos na yan, di ba? Itong puri na napigsabit ni Acto Head.
December.
Tin, baba daw tabi, Tin, sa ano.
Baba mo.
Sige pa. Okay. So, igwa na pala kita, Madam Chair, ng resolution authorizing the city mayor to enter into a memorandum agreement with PAGCOR under Juanito Sanyosa Jr., yung bagong President Chief Operating Officer. So may authority na palang kitang itinao. What we need now is to ratify that MOA. Question. Yung bang second MOA tin may substantial compliance na? Pwedeng may ipahiling si MOA so that we can
signed by the new chief.
kung notarize na siya or
Second. Pero mayo pa yan mo. Pero mayo pa yan. Ay na si Mowa pa yan. Si Bago na. Ay, yun na si Bago. Nariribayan lang si mga ano.
na-review ko yan, Madam Chair, pero dahil pa yan na... Okay,
Pero
dahil
dahil
pa.
pa.
So we cannot really
We cannot
ratify the
ratify.
session. So siguro, Madam Chair, we request yung sa City Mayor's Office kung siya nag-handle kani to inform na ano
So
para
we don't
mapirmahan
need
na,
an-
then
oh.
mapadara na yung
So we don't need another resolution.
No need, ma'am.
Kasi iguana.
Halaton ta lang po ni
Halaton
for,
ta na lang.
for us to ratify
So-
the document.
So may we
Yes.
So we instruct the the secretary to write a letter to the city mayor as to who is in charge of the preparation of this document. Next item.
New business.
Okay. Okay, we take a break. Eh, 10:30 na pala.
Mm-mm.
Next item.
The, the report of the Committee on Housing and Settlements.
Councilor Jess Albio, Chair of the Committee on Housing.
Good morning, Madam Chair. May I request acknowledgement of the report of the Committee on Housing and Settlements.
Your report is acknowledged.
The committee hearing was held on February 10, 2023, and there was a quorum. 5 items were tackled. First item is a letter dated February 3, 2023 of Mr. Cesar Maestrado, City Assessor, submitting the appraisal report with the corresponding Naga City Appraisal Committee resolution pertaining to the memorandum agreement by and between Enrique Lee and the City Government of Naga on the property located at Barangay Carolina, Naga City. May I proceed to the disposition, Madam Chair?
You may proceed.
On motion of the Honorable Salvador del Castillo, duly seconded by Mr. Rodel Reyes, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod the passage of a resolution authorizing His Honor, the City Mayor, to enter into a deed of absolute sale with spouses Enrique Lee for the property located in Barangay Carolina de City with the current fair market value appraised by the Naga City Appraisal Committee and the inclusion of certain conditions as directed to Attorney Liano of the City Legal Office. So move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Okay, approved.
Second item is a letter dated February 3, 2023 of Mr. Cesar Maestrado, City Assessor, submitting the appraisal report with the corresponding Naga City Appraisal Committee resolution pertaining to the property of Nilda de los Reyes, located in Barangay Santa Cruz, Naga City, known as the Fernandez Compound for the purpose of socialized housing program of the city. May I proceed to the disposition, Madam Chair? On motion of Honorable Salvador del Castillo, duly seconded by Mr. Rodel Reyes, the committee resolved to take note of the report submitted by the Naga City Appraisal Committee while awaiting for the other pertinent documents requested by committee, such as the certificate as to the availability of funds and the list of beneficiaries of the proposed socialized housing program at the Fernandez Compound. So move, Madam Chair.
Second. Okay, approved.
Third item is a letter dated February 2, 2023 of Engineer Rolando S.I. Campillos, HSDO Head, submitting a sketch plan showing the occupied portion of the imperial property located in Carolina de City, sought to be acquired by the city government for socialized housing purposes as requested by the Sangguniang Panlungsod. May I proceed to the disposition, Madam Chair?
You may proceed.
On motion of Honorable Salvador M. del Castillo, duly seconded by Ms. Amel Espinosilla and Mr. Rodel Reyes, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod the passage of a resolution authorizing His Honor, the City Mayor, to negotiate with the heirs of the Antonio Imperial for the acquisition of their property located at Barangay Carolina de City for a socialized housing project of the City Government of Naga. So move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Approved.
Fourth item is a letter dated February 4, 2023 of Engineer Alexander N. Canning, Acting City Building Official, explaining their failure to come for the joint inspection with HSDO on the matter of the complaint of Ms. Amelia Dadea as required by the Sangguniang Panlungsod. Simultaneous to this is the letter dated February 3, 2022 from the HSDO containing the narrative of the events that transpired during the scheduled day of inspection. May I proceed to the disposition, Madam Chair?
You may proceed.
On motion of the Honorable Salvador M. del Castillo, duly seconded by Mr. Rodel Reyes, the committee resolved to direct the HSDO to provide the committee with a list of all original beneficiaries of the socialized housing projects, including updates on the current ownership or occupants of the Del Sunshine Bill, Barangay del Rosario, D. City. So move, Madam Chair.
Any second? Approved.
Item number 5 is letter dated January 17.
Honorable Del Castillo.
On housing, may we include that we direct the HSDO to submit to us all the original awardees of all of the lots under our Kaantabay sa Kauswagan program, including the movement of the beneficiary, because there are certain beneficiaries, Madam Chair, or lots rather, that pass on to several persons already. I will be using that data in drafting an ordinance which will abolish the legalization of all transfer pertaining to our urban poor program. Because it seems that there is no end in the transfer of lot from the original beneficiary to other person. So we might as well stop that practice, Madam Chair. And I think one of the mode in stopping that is the passage of an ordinance which will stop the legalization of all those transactions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
So with that, Madam Chair, we move to direct the HSDO to provide the committee with a list of all original beneficiaries of the socialized housing projects, including the transfer of ownership of all the housing projects in the kaantabay sa kauswagan project of the city government. So move, Madam Chair.
Any second?
Last item sa letter dated January 17, 2023 of Ms. Marilyn Peña Florida, President of San Miguelville Homeowners Association, seeking assistance from the city government to acquire the lots they are occupying owned by the Archdiocese of Cáceres. May I proceed to the disposition, Madam Chair?
You may proceed.
Upon deliberation of the matter, the committee resolved to take note of the request, considering the report rendered by Mr. Eric Salvino that the Archdiocese of Cáceres has no intention to sell their property located in San Miguel, Barangay San Felipe, and there is no order to vacate or demolish any of the residents. So move, Madam Chair.
Any second?
That ends my report. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Jesse Albios. Next item.
New business, the endorsement from the Honorable City Mayor regarding the request of Ms. Daisy Santa Rosa.
Tapos na ba gani? February 12 to 14? So, Muten Academic?
The endorsement from the Head Tri-Mobile Task Force forwarding the application
Committee on
for
Transport.
transfer. Letter dated February 6 of Ms. Christopher.
Honorable Benafe.
Madam Chair, since the said request is asking for the transfer from a brother to a brother, and that it is endorsed by the Tri-Mobile Task Force, having inspected already the application and that it satisfies the requirements, may I move, Madam Chair, that we transfer this to SBO so that we can already approve this application and economize in the conduct of committee hearings, because anyway, it is already endorsed and having inspected already by the task force that it complies with the requirements, and so it's ready for approval, Madam Chair.
As the Chair of the Committee on Rules.
Since it was already endorsed by the Tri-Mobile Task Force, we are sure that all the requirements was duly complied with. So with that, Madam Chair, I have no objection on the
So transfer
request.
to
Yes.
transfer to SBO.
Thank
Then
you,
make
Madam
the
Chair.
motion, Honorable Benafe.
And I move that this request or the application for the transfer of Tri-Mobile franchise from Jeffrey O. Evangelista to Alexander O. Evangelista be approved, Madam Chair, and I so move.
Any second? Okay, approved.
Thank you,
Next
Madam Chair.
item.
The letter dated February 6, 2023 of Mr. Christopher de Los Santos requesting for assistance to renew the
Committee on
registration
Transport.
of Tri-Mobile.
Another, Honorable Benafe.
Madam Chair, actually in the letter that was sent to the Office of the Mayor, the proponent is asking that the renewal of the franchise be given consideration, that he has paid already 35,000 and he's going to pay the 20,000 more for the renewal of the franchise. And he's just asking for the allowance of this renewal process, considering that we have sent letters already informing them that their franchise is due for cancellation. And so with this, Madam Chair, may I request also that it be transferred to SBO so that we can endorse this to
Hill,
the Secretariat for their consideration.
Hill, okay na yun eh. Okay, Honorable Del Castillo. Yes, to the committee. Kasi baka dae pa, ano.
Transport Committee in the Tri-Mobile Task Force so that all the documents can be evaluated. In the first place, we should determine whether they meet the requirements under the ordinance of 2016. Because if they fail to comply with the requirements of that ordinance, then they are not entitled anymore for the transfer of franchise. Because there is a period in that ordinance, I think 2014-077, there is only a period within which to comply with the requirement of the said ordinance. If they fail to comply with the said ordinance, then they are not entitled to be to transfer the franchise from the original owner to the buyer.
Okay, so we will...
So we have to evaluate first, Madam Chair, all the requirements. So we might as well refer this matter to the Committee on Transport.
Thank you, Honorable Del Castillo. That's why I'm also asking the
Yes,
Mr.
Madam.
Hill
In
that
the
if they have
Tri-Mobile
already
Task Force
complied.
for evaluation.
So, refer to the Committee on Transport.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next item.
The letter dated February 7, 2023 of Mr. Edgardo Dubas, President, Victory Village Homeowners Association, informing that
Committee on Housing.
the letter dated February 9 of Ms. Elena Olaires, requesting for the
Committee
renewal
on Transport.
of franchise. Sunod set. Email niya. Ito po sa niya. Itong email. The
Itong sa-
email from Ms. Rhea Pardinas, ACIPUNC SC President.
Ano yan, bowling? At refer to the committee, ay to the secretariat. Ay, may mga
Mga
nakakaag na
taga-sayo.
bagang barangay.
Mga taga sa ini.
May nakakaag na mga barangay from what
Ayun.
barangay? Concrete bowling ball competition.
Dali, duwang resolution.
Pero ano yan? Na-confirm na nindo ng mga
Yeah,
taga-degree?
yes, Your Honor. There are 2 teams with 4 members each team.
So, on joint and collective motion, resolution commending the following as submitted by ARC. Ano yan? So, on joint collective motion, individual resolution.
The letter from Mr. Lodivico Laura.
Renewal of franchise.
Renewal of
So, Committee on
franchise.
Transport.
Copy of the LG memorandum dated January 27 on the enactment of ordinance operationalizing RA 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2012.
It needs an ordinance. What committee? Sino ang sponsor? Committee on Laws and Order. Ay, Laws and Order. Laws and Ordinances. Pero narisang nagdadala na ko kang Law and Order. Committee on LO.
The letter dated February 10, 2023 from the Honorable City Mayor requesting for issuance of a resolution authorizing him to negotiate and enter into the attached contract with the Department of
Ano tayo
Human
ang sa
Settlements
new
and
business?
Urban Development.
Can we not grant the mayor already the authority?
Ngayon pa ni.
Oo, authority man lang. Can we transfer it to Honorable Del Rosario?
May I request, Madam Chair, the Chair of the Committee on Rules, that we transfer this to SBO and that we authorize the City Mayor, Madam Chair.
So, the Committee on Rules is transferred to SBO. Honorable Del Castillo.
Better to refer this matter to the Committee on Housing so that the committee can look on the provisions of the proposed MOA.
Pakiano mo daw?
May mga obligations na dapat ma-comply kan both parties, Madam Chair. And I think to be prudent about it, mas paray na i-refer sa Committee on Housing.
So you are withdrawing your motion, Honorable Del Rosario, so this matter is referred to the Committee on Housing.
The endorsement dated February 9, 2023 from the City Mayor endorsing the Memorandum of Agreement between the Angat Pinas Incorporated UP Alumni Association, the DepEd for ratification.
For ratification, transfer to ano? Honorable Del Rosario, I think you were the one who sponsored this, the MOA.
Team pakiiling daw si due execution kan si document kung duly notarized na, signed na gabos.
Pero iyon na.
Okay. May notarized na po ni Attorney Armin Alain B. Gomez. I think I know that. Not there. May previous na ni Tabitin?
Subject to
Authority.
ratification.
There is no previous authority.
May grant na kitang authority kaya. Bakong si project yan ni dating...
Yes po.
So, Madam Chair,
Okay, Honorable.
so if there is a previous authority granted,
We transfer.
is under unfinished business.
So we transfer this to unfinished business.
Unfinished business, Madam Chair.
On joint and collective motion.
Okay, on joint and collective unfinished business. And on joint and collective motion, approve ratification. Next item.
The subject matter of the privilege speech of the Honorable Joselito S.A. Del Rosario.
Honorable Del Rosario.
Education.
Committee on Education.
Other matters, list of newly elected Senior Citizens Federation officers 2023.
Noted.
The letter dated February 7 of Attorney Daisy Ponsalan Bragais, Director for Civil Service Commission, inviting participants to the Forum on Civil Service Matters on March 2 at Villa Cáceres Hotel.
Creation and abolition of positions. Those who are interested, ayan. Interested to attend, 3,005 perhaps. Si gustong mag-attend? March 2. Noted, and please furnish a copy to the other members. Yung si gustong mag-attend. Next item.
Nominal voting.
Honorable Del Castillo.
Pair all approved resolutions and ordinances to nominal voting and move for its approval. Move to adjourn.
Any second to the adjournment? Okay, session is adjourned.